Level 1, Scrub. Let's start with Killian Hayes, drafted 7th overall, which is honestly not a great return based on the data. He's played over 26 minutes per game across his career and still averages only 8.1 points and 5.2 assists. His shooting, barely 38% from the field and under 28% from 3. Even when he got more minutes in the 2022 to 23 season, those percentages barely moved. It's tough to call those numbers anything but bottom tier for a starting point guard. Frank Ntilikina case is almost like a ghost story. Picked 8th in his draft class, but he's never really shown up in the stats. He's averaging under 5 points per game, barely 2 assists, and shoots under 37%. His defense has been hyped over the years, but if you're a lead guard, you kind of have to be able to run the offense, or at least score once in a while. Then there's Jimmer. He was a college legend, no doubt, but in the NBA, 6 points per game, over 6 seasons, 5 teams, and not one lasting impression. He made noise overseas, sure, but in the league, his impact was about as noticeable as a dropped coin in a thunderstorm. Ty Washington has barely started his career, but let's just say the alarm bells are already ringing. His college stats were decent, but nothing screamed elite. His size is average, his athleticism doesn't jump off the screen, and the pro translation hasn't happened yet. Without that elite burst or playmaking vision, the lead guard role becomes a major challenge. Now let's talk Malachi Flynn. Drafted in the 1st round, but he's rarely made an appearance that actually mattered. He averages just over 5 points and under 2 assists. His 3-point shooting is hovering in the low 30s, and he played almost 70 games last season without starting once. If you blink, you probably missed most of his minutes. Expect we all know the legendary 50-point game. Jared Butler was taken 40th overall, which at least comes with lower expectations. He shoots the ball decently, 45% from the field, but he's putting up only 2.8 assists per game and under 7 points. Those are backup numbers on a good night, and he's not making much noise beyond that. Torrey Murray? Yeah, not a name you hear a lot, and there's a reason. He averaged under 3 points, under 1 rebound, and just under 1 assist per game. His entire NBA resume looks more like a summer league stat sheet. It's not enough for rotation minutes, let alone a starting spot. Josh Selby's numbers make it hard to believe he ever shared a court with NBA-level talent. He averaged about 2 points and less than 1 assist per game. His field goal percentage, a brutal 33%. His career reads more like a quick cameo than a full audition. Ben Uzo went undrafted and played in the league for a short stretch, putting up 4 points and 2 assists per game. While he's got the size for a point guard, the actual production didn't match up. Even in short spurts, he didn't provide enough to get another shot at the league. Will Bynum? Now here's someone who at least got a decent number of games in. He had some flashes, averaging over 8 points and 3 assists, but never pushed himself into starter territory. He stuck around for a while, but never really took control of an offense or elevated a team. Serviceable, yes, but not enough to escape this tier. Smush Parker's stat line looks better at first glance. 9 points and close to 3 assists per game, but a deeper look tells the story. He played over 200 games, but never consistently produced at a high level. His shooting and assist numbers stayed low, even when given starting minutes. That's just not what you want out of a floor general. Finally, Kira Lewis Jr., drafted 13th overall, but you wouldn't know it by the numbers. He's barely cracking 5 points and not even 2 assists per game in the NBA. Even when he went down to the G League, he wasn't exactly blowing the doors off. His G League stats, 13 points, under 5 assists, are fine, but nothing that demands a call-up. His efficiency sits under 40%, and that's not what anyone's hoping for from a first-round pick. So what ties all these guys together? It's not one bad season or a few missed shots. It's consistent underperformance in the areas that matter most for a lead guard, whether it's low scoring, inefficient shooting, weak assist totals, or a combination of all three. Every single one of these players falls short of what teams need from a point guard in today's NBA. They're not floor generals, they're passengers, just along for the ride, hoping not to stall the whole offense. By the way, if you guys want to subscribe, I'm going to be posting every day. Thanks. Anyways, Level 2, Role Player. Dennis Smith Jr. came into the league as a top 10 pick back in 2017. Since then, he's landed squarely in that rotation but not irreplaceable zone. His career averages sit around 9.7 points per game with just over 4 assists. The minutes, he's played roughly 23 per contest. His field goal percentage stays just over 40%, while his 3-point clip barely hits 30. That mix of volume and efficiency fits right into the mold of a backup or temporary starter who can hold things down but isn't carrying your offense. Cam Payne's career began quietly, and it stayed that way for a long time. In his early years, he played fewer than 15 minutes a game and averaged under 5 points. He's never been a high usage guy, and his scoring and assist numbers reflect that. At just over 6 feet tall and under 190 pounds, his physical profile doesn't scream dominant lead guard either. Bounced around teams as a bench scorer, and that's the story. Productive in short stretches, but not central to any team's plans. Tyus Jones is one of the more efficient point guards in terms of taking care of the ball. His assist-to-turnover ratio has reached over 7-to-1 at times, which is rare air. Still, his scoring sits around 7.7 points per game with just over 4 assists. He's built a career out of consistency and ball security, which makes him a great second-unit floor gem. He's not taking a bunch of shots, and his usage is low, but he's been valuable to teams needing mistake-free minutes. Monte Morris is another guy who keeps things clean. Drafted 51st, his scoring has never been flashy, usually under double digits, but his assist-to-turnover ratio stays among the best in the league. He's made a name for himself as a guy you can trust not to throw the ball away, and that's earned him years in solid rotation. He doesn't take over games, but you'll rarely see him lose one either. That's textbook role player material right there. DeLon Wright has been on a number of teams and has filled in all over the backcourt. What's consistent is how he's used, usually off the bench, sometimes starting in injury relief, but almost always playing fewer than 30 minutes. He's been known more for his defense than his offense, and rarely posts big scoring or assist nights. Another steady hand that fits cleanly in its supporting role. Corey Joseph is basically the definition of a vet who survives on reliability. He's played on several squads and has often been a backup or third stringer, occasionally starting when needed. His assist numbers never pop, his scoring rarely breaks double digits, but he knows how to run sets and avoid huge mistakes. His longevity says a lot, because he stayed in the league more for his mind and poise than his number. Aaron Holiday, younger brother of Drew and Justin, has made his living as a reserve. In a recent season, he played 62 games and started just 3. His shooting percentage was around 44% from the field and nearly 40% from deep, which is respectable, but he's not getting starter level touches. He made 117 field goals in that stretch. Solid, but again, nothing that screams starting guard. That's a classic rotation shooter role. Markelle Fultz is a more unique case. Drafted number 1 overall, the expectations were sky high, but injuries and inconsistencies changed that path. He settled into a role where he still averages over 11 points per game across his career and about 4.5 assists. Those aren't scrub numbers, but they're not franchise level either. His recent season had just 43 games and 18 starts with averages under 8 points. He's shown he can play, but hasn't maintained lead guard production. Austin Rivers might be one of the more familiar faces in this tier. He's had stretches of starts and even some big moments, but his assist numbers and scoring never reached top point guard levels. He's been used as a combo guard, mostly filling minutes on both ends of the backcourt. He's bounced around the league and been a consistent contributor, but never a centerpiece. Ramon Sessions played over a decade in the league, but almost always as a bench guard or spot starter. His scoring would occasionally spike, but not enough to ever hand him the keys. He moved around a lot, another sign of teams valuing his ability to play without leaning on him too heavily. If there was a role player prototype in the pre-analytics era, it was Sessions. Gabe Vincent had a pretty eventful recent season. He appeared in 72 games and started 11. His shooting hovered around 40% from the field and 35% from 3. He made 168 field goals and hit 109 threes. Those are very clear role player stats. He plays both ends hard, knocks down open shots, and gives you steady backup energy, but those numbers aren't stretching any ceilings. Put all of this together, and the role player label comes into focus. These guards don't lead franchises, but they make things work behind the scenes. They stabilize bench units, eat up minutes without losing ground, and fill gaps when starters go down. Some had big expectations at one point, like Fultz or Smith Jr., but ended up carving out a smaller slice. Others like Tyus Jones and Monte Morris made long careers out of not making mistakes. None of these players are going to be featured in an offensive scheme's first page, but they're always in the huddle, ready when called. Thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this video. Basketball's officially back, and every night feels like a highlight waiting to happen. If you love watching hoops, there's no better way to stay involved in the action than with DraftKings Sportsbook. Here's the offer. New customers bet $5 and get $300 if your bet wins. Paid in bonus bets, plus get 3 months of NBA League Pass no matter what. That means you're catching every dunk, clutch shot, An overtime thriller, even if your first bet doesn't hit. Just sign up using promo code HOOPSEXPLAINED. Make that first $5 bet, and you're in. It's that easy. You'll get to watch games live and use your bonus bets on any upcoming matchups you want. DraftKings makes betting simple and exciting. You can go live mid-game, follow every score in real time, or build same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. And with League Pass included, you'll never miss the moments everyone's talking about the next day. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up using promo code HOOPSEXPLAINED, and start playing today. New customers bet $5 and get $300 if your bet wins. Plus 3 months of NBA League Pass no matter what. Level 3, Starter. They're not stars, but they're definitely not bench warmers either. They eat up real minutes, hold starting roles, and deliver solid production without lighting the building on fire. These are the guys who've earned trust, stuck around, and contribute at a level that keeps teams competitive without being the center of the spotlight. Dennis Schroeder fits this group like a glove. He's been doing this for over 800 games now, scoring close to 14 points per game and tossing out nearly 5 assists a night. Back in that 2017 season with Atlanta, he looked completely in command, pushing close to 20 points and over 6 assists while starting almost every game. That's not someone you bring off the bench. He's the kind of guy coaches lean on when they need stability. Then there's Ricky Rubio, who might not be a bucket getter, but he's dished out over 7 assists per game across almost 700 games. His shooting, not ideal, floating under 40% from the field. But passing and vision, he's always been sharp. Drafted top 5. Back in 2009, he came into the league with playmaking instincts that never went away. That passing ability kept him starting, even when the jumper wouldn't cooperate. Raymond Felton had almost 1,000 regular season games under his belt. That's not an accident. He gave teams over 11 points and 5 assists a game, while racking up over 5,000 total assists. His longevity shows exactly why he belonged in this tier. He wasn't flashy, but he was consistent, and that matters more than people want to admit. Now, Derek Fisher didn't exactly light up the stat sheet, but with over 1,280 games played, he stuck around longer than most guards ever dreamed. He gave teams just over 8 points and 3 assists per game, but it was the leadership and ability to fit alongside stars that kept him in starting lineups for nearly 2 decades. He played across 5 teams, adapted every time, and stayed valuable. Mario Chalmers gave you close to 9 points and almost 4 assists in over 600 games. Not a superstar by any stretch, but definitely a starter in his prime. He held down point, guard duties next to much bigger names, and did his job. That's what this level's all about. Solid numbers, good control, low maintenance. Terry Rozier's still adding to his career, but with over 600 games and a scoring average right around 14 points, he's clearly not just filler. His assist numbers are more modest, around 3.5 per game, and his playmaking isn't elite, but his scoring punch and ability to handle starting roles for multiple teams keep him right in this conversation. In his most recent season, even with the numbers dipping to around 10 points and under 3 assists, he still found himself starting consistently. Spencer Dinwiddie's another strong fit. He's had over 600 games, averaging 13 points and 5 assists. He's played for several teams, often sliding right into the starting line without any adjustment issue. That kind of adaptability says a lot. He's not your lead star, but you know exactly what you're getting with him. Reggie Jackson's one of those players who quietly delivered year after year. With 12 points and 4 assists a game across almost 900 contests, he's been a dependable starter level player throughout his career. The field goal percentage, right around 42%. Not elite, but perfectly serviceable when he's running the offense. Malcolm Brogdon might be the most decorated guy in this tier. He averaged over 15 points and close to 5 assists a game through over 460 games. And he has actual hardware. Rookie of the Year in 2016 and 6th Man of the Year in 2023. That tells you he's not just a plug-in option. He's more like a full-featured starter who just doesn't command the spotlight. Elfrid Payton doesn't always get his due, but he quietly gave teams close to 10 points and almost 6 assists across over 500 games. His role fluctuated, but when given the keys, he often ran the offense competent. Drafted 10th overall, expectations were high, and while he didn't become a franchise guy, he still carved out a starting career. And Kendrick Nunn, he went undrafted and still earned his way into starting lineups. He's averaged over 12 points with a shooting percentage around 45%. Assists are on the lower end at just over 2, but his scoring touch has always been reliable enough to make him a legit starter when needed. The path was tougher for him, but the production held up. This whole group is made of guys who held it down. They weren't the first name on the scouting report, but they weren't invisible either. They filled a role that every team needs. A point guard who can play solid minutes, not turn the ball over every trip, and run the show without trying to dominate it. Not every team gets a star at the one spot, but if you've got one of these guys, you're not in bad shape. They've all had different paths. Some were top 10 picks, some bounced around, some went undrafted, but all of them proved they belonged on the floor when the game tipped off. That's what makes them starters. Not superstardom, but reliability. Level 4, All-Star. These point guards didn't just show up to play, they showed up to be recognized. Every single one of them earned a spot on an all-star roster or played at a level that put them in serious consideration. That means consistent production, big roles, and the kind of numbers that get attention across the league. They weren't just placeholders, they were centerpieces, even if only for a moment. Jeff Teague had one of those moments in 2015. He averaged over 16 points and nearly 7 assists that year while leading a top-seeded team. Over his career, he put up 12 points and almost 6 assists per game across more than 800 games. One all-star nod gets him in the door, and his role as a lead guard on a 50-win team seals it. He might not have lit up the scoreboard for a decade, but he hit the marks and earned that spot. D'Angelo Russell got his all-star selection in 2019, and that year he fully deserved it. Across over 600 games, he's averaged about 17 points and 5.5 assists. That scoring punch, paired with his playmaking, helped him secure his spot among the league's best, even if only once. It's been a roller coaster at times, but his talent's always been legit enough to belong here. Mike Conley finally broke through with an all-star nod in 2021. He'd been quietly productive for years before that, with averages around 15 points and 6 assists. He's one of those guys who never demanded attention, but played the game with precision and control. That lone selection might have taken a while, but it recognized years of quality point guard play. Darius Garland's already earned 2 all-star selections, and he's still early in his career. That tells you everything. He's dishing out assists, hitting from deep, and becoming a lead creator. His passing and scoring have already put him into the league's upper tier at the position. He's not just young and talented, he's already producing at the all-star level. LaMelo Ball's in the same boat. He earned all-star recognition early in his career by putting up flashy numbers and doing it efficiently. He's got great size for a point guard, creates for others, and scores in bunch. There's still a lot of room to grow, but what he's done already justifies the spot on this list. Goran Dragic carved out a long career and finally made an all-star team in 2018. He was putting up scoring numbers in the high teens and acting as the engine for his offense. He might not have had the resume of some of the others, but that one season showed exactly what he was capable. His game was sharp, smart, and consistent enough to make him a real all-star, even if just for a year. Jameer Nelson had his all-star season in 2009, and he earned it by leading a team that made a deep playoff run. His scoring and passing were both strong during his peak, and even though his averages aren't overwhelming, he was the floor general for a serious squad. He wasn't flashy, but he was effective and got the recognition to prove it. Isaiah Thomas, he didn't just make all-star teams. He was dominant for a stretch. He averaged close to 30 points per game in his peak years and did it as the smallest guy on the floor. He's a 2-time all-star and led his team as a top scoring option. Even if his career dipped later due to injuries, his all-star production at his peak was undeniable. Mo Williams was selected as an all-star in 2009. That year, he stepped up as a second scoring option and dropped close to 20 points per game. He wasn't consistent at that level every season, but when he had the chance, he delivered. That one big year got him the nod, and that's what matters at this level. Fred VanVleet worked his way from undrafted to all-star in 6 seasons. He's averaged close to 15 points and almost 6 assists, and helped lead his team to a championship. His defensive effort, steady playmaking, and big shot ability made him impossible to ignore. Getting that all-star selection in 2022 cemented everything he'd built. Drew Holiday's been one of the most complete guards in the league for years. He's made multiple all-star teams and consistently delivers on both ends. His passing, scoring, and elite defense have made him a key player on playoff teams. Even when he's playing off-ball, he's always operating at a high level. He fits this tier with no debate. These are the point guards who didn't just show up, they performed. Some did it for a season, others for years. Some were quietly efficient, others exploded onto the scene. But each of them, at some point, earned the all-star label through actual performance, not hype. Whether it was a short window or a long career, they reached the bar that only a few ever touched. And in a league where competition at point guard is non-stop, that's not a small thing. Level 5, Superstar. This is where point guards become more than floor leaders. They become franchise centerpieces. The names on this list didn't just collect a few nice stat lines, they left a permanent mark. Whether it was through all-star appearances, MVPs, championships, or breaking records, every player here hit elite status at some point. It's not about hype, it's about what they actually did. Kemba Walker earned 4 All-Star nods and an All-NBA selection in 2019. Drafted 9th overall in 2011, he carried the Charlotte franchise for years, leading in scoring, three-pointers made, and clutch moments. He once dropped 41 points in a season opener and made 9 three-pointers in a single game. He became just the second player in Hornets history with 900 three-pointers. Add in his college success, an NCAA championship, and awards like Final Four Most Outstanding Player, and the resume's stacked. He hit every mark expected from a superstar during his prime. Jalen Brunson is on a rapid rise. He was a consensus All-American in college, signed a huge contract with the Knicks, and dropped 50 points in a game while going 9 for 9 from deep. That tied the NBA record for threes made without a miss. He also became just the 9th Knicks player to score 50 in a game, with multiple Eastern Conference Player of the Week honors and multiple 40-point nights. His productions jumped into the spotlight. He's showing superstar capability through stats, efficiency, and leadership. Gilbert Arenas had the scoring to back up the status. A 3-time All-Star and 3-time All-NBA selection, he averaged over 20 points per game for his career and scored 60 in one game, setting the Washington franchise record. He won Most Improved Player in 2003 and finished with over 11,000 career points. At his peak, he was a top scorer and go-to guy with the ball in his hand. He also holds the franchise record for most made three-pointers with 868. He was pure offense and pure production. Morant was drafted 2nd overall in 2019 and already picked up the NBA's Most Improved Player award. His explosiveness, playmaking, and athleticism immediately put him in the mix with the league's best. He's already posted highlight numbers and big performances that push him into this conversation. His full superstar stamp might still be developing, but the direction is clear. He's trending toward elite status fast. Tony Parker is a textbook example. 4 NBA titles, 1 Finals MVP, and 6 All-Star appearances speak for themselves. He averaged over 15 points and nearly 6 assists per game across more than 1,200 games. Drafted late in the first round in 2001, he built a Hall of Fame career and got inducted in 2023. As the point guard for a dynasty, he handled pressure, led with precision, and delivered on the biggest stages. He's one of the best to do it at his position. John Wall made 5 straight All-Star teams from 2014 to 2018. Drafted 1st overall in 2010, he came in with speed that destroyed the stopwatch. He made the All-Defensive Second Team in 2015 and had one of the fastest times ever recorded in the lane agility drill. He ran Washington's offense for years and put up serious assist and scoring numbers during his prime. He brought both flash and substance to the floor every night. Kyrie's got it all. 9 All-Star appearances, a 50-40-90 season in 2021, and a championship in 2016. He's averaged close to 24 points and nearly 6 assists over more than 700 games. He's been a #1 pick, a champion, and a master of shot creation and tough finishing. The ball handling is elite, the shooting is efficient, and the accolades keep piling up. He fits this tier without question. Derrick Rose had one of the most iconic peaks in modern history. He won Rookie of the Year in 2009 and became the youngest MVP ever in 2011 at just 22 years old. He averaged over 17 points per game in his career and posted a 40-inch vertical at the NBA Combine. Injuries slowed him down, but that MVP stretch still ranks among the most electric in league history. When healthy, he was unstoppable. Mark Price deserves a spot for those who remember his prime. A 4-time All-Star and multiple All-NBA selection, he was known for elite shooting and passing. He doesn't always get mentioned enough, but his impact in the 80s and early 90s was real. His shooting splits were elite, especially from the free throw line, where he consistently led the league, even without the flash of others. His production and efficiency meet the superstar bar. Chauncey Billups brought the leadership. 5-time All-Star, NBA champion, and Finals MVP in 2004. Drafted 3rd overall in 1997, he racked up over 15,000 points and more than 5,000 assists. He made 2 all-defensive teams and had his jersey retired by the Pistons. He was never about chasing numbers. He controlled the game, hit big shots, and anchored championship-caliber teams. Tim Hardaway brought style and results. 5-time All-Star, All-NBA First Team in 1997, and known for the crossover that made defenders regret their career choices. He was part of the Run TMC era with Golden State and put up big-time stats. He played with confidence, aggression, and real production. He earned every bit of the superstar label. These guys didn't just pass the ball and call plays. They set the tone for their teams, made history, and left behind legacies. Some have rings, some have records, some have awards, and some have all three. What makes them level 5 is not just talent, it's proof. The stats, the accolades, and the consistency. This tier isn't easy to crack. That's why it's reserved for the best of the best. Level 6, Legend. These are the point guards who've gone beyond all-star status, beyond superstardom, and built careers that permanently shaped NBA history. The names listed here are supported by long-term production, top-tier accolades, and historic marks in multiple categories. They didn't just play the game, they changed it. Oscar Robertson was drafted first overall in 1960 as a territorial pick by the Cincinnati Royals. His career regular season averages include 25.7 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists over 1,040 games. His career totals include 26,710 points, 7,804 rebounds, and 9,887 assists. He won the NBA championship in 1971 with the Milwaukee Bucks and was named the league's most valuable player in 1964. He led the league in assists 6 times and had 6 seasons averaging 30 or more points per game. Most notably, in the 1961-62 season, he became the first player to average a triple-double over a full season with averages of 30.8 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 11.4 assists. John Stockton spent his entire career with the Utah Jazz from 1984 through 2003. He remains the NBA's all-time leader in assists and steals with 15,806 assists and 3,265 steals. His career averages are 13.1 points and 10.5 assists per game. He was selected to 10 All-Star games and is the only player in NBA history to lead the league in both assists and steals in the same season. Steve Nash played 18 seasons in the NBA. His career averages include 14.3 points, 8.5 assists, and 3 rebounds per game. He won back-to-back Most Valuable Player awards in 2005 and 2006. Nash led the NBA in assists 5 times and retired with career shooting percentages of 49% from the field, 42.8% from 3, and 90.4% from the free throw line. Chris Paul ranks second all-time in career assists in NBA history as of the most recent data. His career averages are approximately 17.9 points and 9.5 assists per game. He has been named to 11 All-NBA teams and 9 All-Defensive teams. Paul is the first player in league history to record at least 20,000 career points and 10,000 assists. Isaiah Thomas totaled 18,822 points, 9,061 assists, and 1,861 steals over his NBA career. He averaged 9.3 assists per game. He won 2 NBA championships with the Detroit Pistons in 1989 and 1990 and was named NBA Finals Most Valuable Player in 1990. He was selected to 12 NBA All-Star games. Gary Payton finished his career with 21,813 points, 8,966 assists, and 5,269 rebounds. He won an NBA championship in 2006 and was named the NBA Defensive Player of the Year in 1996, becoming the first point guard to win that award. Payton made 9 All-Star appearances, 9 All-NBA teams, and 9 All-Defensive First Teams, tying the record for most selections to that defensive squad. Jason Kidd ranks among the highest in NBA history in both career assists and steals. His ability to maintain high-level performance and production over a long period earned him recognition as one of the top point guards in league history. He consistently controlled pace, created opportunities for teammates, and posted elite defensive numbers throughout his career. His impact was both statistical and team-based over multiple seasons. Russell Westbrook holds the record for the most career triple-doubles in NBA history, surpassing Oscar Robertson's previous mark. He recorded multiple seasons averaging a triple-double, a feat that had previously only been achieved once in league history. Westbrook's production across scoring, rebounding, and assists contributed to multiple All-Star selections and MVP consideration, particularly during his tenure with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Luka is still an active player, and while his career is not yet complete, his current production places him on a path towards legendary status. As of now, he has posted multiple seasons averaging over 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. He has been selected to several All-Star games and named to multiple All-NBA teams early in his career. His trajectory projects into historic territory based on the pace and impact of his current seasons. Shai is also still active. While his resume is still being built, recent seasons show significant jumps in both scoring and efficiency. He has posted averages above 30 points per game while maintaining strong assist and rebound numbers. Plus, he's got an MVP and Finals MVP in the same season. These players qualify as legends based on a combination of career totals, leadership roles, and historical rankings. Oscar Robertson set the foundation with triple-doubles and league-wide dominance. John Stockton's assist and steal records remain untouched. Steve Nash's shooting efficiency and playmaking helped redefine the position. Chris Paul and Thomas posted two-way impact at the highest levels. Gary Payton added elite defense and versatility. Jason Kidd led through intelligence and longevity. Russell Westbrook redefined what modern statistical dominance looks like. Luka and Shai are still writing their stories, but the early chapters are already filled with records and recognition. Each player in this group has demonstrated elite production across scoring, assists, and often defense, while also earning awards, All-NBA honors, or setting league records. This level isn't based on opinions or potential. It's defined by career output and historic achievements, exactly as measured by the numbers. Level 7. GOATs. Steph Curry and Magic Johnson. These two aren't just all-time great point guards. They're the highest tier of what a point guard can be. Their careers are defined by championships, MVPs, statistical dominance, and major cultural impact on the way basketball is played and understood. Steph Curry was drafted 7th overall in 2009 by the Golden State Warriors. Standing 6 feet 2 inches and weighing around 185 pounds, he became the central figure of one of the most successful dynasties in NBA history. Over his career, Curry has averaged approximately 24.8 points, 6.4 assists, and 4.7 rebounds per game. He has appeared in 11 All-Star games and won 2 Most Valuable Player awards. Curry has 4 NBA championships with Golden State and led the team to the best regular season record ever, 73 wins and 9 losses in the 2015-16 season. He holds the all-time NBA record for career three-point field goals made with over 4,000 made threes as of early 2025. His three-point percentage sits around 42.3%, while his free throw shooting percentage exceeds 91%. In college at Davidson, Curry set program records for career three-pointers made with 414, career free throws with 479, and most 30 and 40-point games. He remains Golden State's all-time leader in total points, assists, steals, and games played. His legacy is also tied to the rise of three-point shooting across the league, as his style of play helped redefine offensive strategies across every level of basketball. Magic Johnson was drafted 1st overall in the 1979 NBA draft by the Los Angeles Lakers. He played 13 seasons with the team, including a brief comeback in the mid-90s. Across his career, Johnson averaged 19.5 points, 11.2 assists, and 7.2 rebounds per game. His regular season totals include 17,707 points, 6,559 rebounds, and 10,141 assists. Johnson won 5 NBA championships with the Lakers and was named NBA Finals Most Valuable Player 3 times. He earned 3 regular season Most Valuable Player awards and appeared in 11 NBA All-Star games. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2002. His field goal percentage across his career was approximately 52%. Johnson still ranks among the greatest passers in league history, holding the highest career assists per game average. At 6 feet 9 inches tall, he redefined the physical expectations for a point guard, creating new possibilities for the position with his combination of size, vision, and versatility. Both players have left a permanent impact on basketball. Curry holds all-time records and changed the way the game is played through shooting. Johnson led one of the most dominant franchises of all time with unmatched vision and control. They meet every statistical and career benchmark required for greatest of all time status. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.